Hi all, welcome to Unshackling Sudokus and Puzzles. I have a classic Sudoku today for you, and this Sudoku is a collab between two of brilliant authors, Tyrgannus and Jovial. I read the comment by the author in Discord. Jovial had noted that while creating, they had alternated givens. That would be interesting, right? So one author placed one given, the other author was placing the next given. So this gave rise to an excellent solve path. I tried this Sudoku some time back and I was really impressed with this solve path and decided to make this for a video. So hope you enjoy. The link to solve this is in the description of the video. And thanks Tyrgannus and Jovial for creating this beautiful classic Sudoku. So let's start the Sudoku now. So there is not much you can do in the form of corner marks. So I'll just quickly do that. So one is not in row 4, column 2. So one goes here. One has 3 options here, 3 options here, and 3 options again here, and 3 options again here. So nothing much. So if you look at the twos are also limited, just 3 given twos in the grid, just like the ones. So let's see, 2 goes here, and 2 has 3 options here, 2 has 3 options here, and just the 2 options here. Okay, let's go to 3s now. 3 has 3 options in box 1, 3 options in box 7. Okay, just the 2 options here, so let me mark that. Okay, so 4 is not in row 4, 4 is not in column 9, 4 goes in these 3 cells, 4 goes in these 3 cells. Many options again. Okay, 5, just 2 5s in the grid, but they are combining in a nice way to just give these 2 possibilities in box 1, and similarly in box 9 it goes in these 2 cells. Okay, time to go to the next digit. 6 has 2 options here, 3 options. Okay, just the 2 in box 9, right? Row 7 and column 8 are eliminated, so it goes in these 2 cells. Very well. Okay, so let's go to the next digit. I think the action with the 6s have stopped. Okay, so if you look at 7s, 7s are also just 2 in number, just like some other digit we saw, right? 5s were also 2. 7s have many possibilities in this box and many possibilities here as well. Okay, let's go to the next digit. 8 is not in row 1, 8 is not in row 2, 8 is not in column 5. So that gives our first digit. 8 goes here and that puts an 8 here. So this was kind of a freebie. Maybe some of the author might have thought, okay, so much difficulty the solvers are going to face, let's give them a freebie now. So we got a freebie here. So 8s, okay, 3 options here, 3 options here. I'm just visually seeing where the 8s go in all the boxes, nothing complicated. So let's go to the next digit, because I don't see any box which has just 2 options for the 8. So if I look at 9s, just the solo 9 in the grid, so there is no way we can mark 9 anywhere unless we place some more digits in the grid. So now it's time to do the center marking. Let's quickly center mark some interesting cells, and since I've solved this previously, I'm going to mark those exact cells which we really need, and maybe a few additional cells just to have a feel of the solve. 1 3 5 8 2 6 and 7. So look at this cell. This is really restricted. It is going to have just the 2 possibilities, 4 and 9. And let's look at this cell. This will be 4 and 7. You can't have 1 3 5 8, 2 and 9 and 6. So this can only be 4 and 7. look at this cell, row 7 and column 7. 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 3. So this is also limited, 5, 7. And let's look at this cell. This will be 7, 8, and 9. You can't have 1, 2, 3. You can't have 4, 5, and 6. So this is 7, 8, and a 9. And look at this cell. It cannot be 3, 4, or 5, 2, 6, or 8. So it is 1, 7, and 9. Okay, so I have marked the center candidates and I will use them in the solve a little bit later, but the brilliant break into this Sudoku is by identifying this, you can say, finned swordfish. Imagine that for a start, a finned swordfish. I hope I'm right in the terminology. Maybe your regular viewers can correct me if I'm wrong. So if you notice column 2 and ask yourself, where does the 6 go? Just these two cells. You can't have 6 here. You can't have 6 here. You can't have 6 here. So just the two cells. And now let's look at column 4 and ask ourselves the same question. So if you notice, the authors have placed this for some reason. The first 3 boxes, row box 1, box 2, box 3 have exactly 1, 6. The next 3 boxes, box 4, 5, 6 have exactly 1, 6. And box 7, 8, 9 have exactly 1, 6. And not only that, you'll also see that columns 1, 2, and 3, they have exactly 1, 6. Columns 4, 5, 6, 1, 6. Columns 7, 8, 9, 1, 6. So that should give you some clue. And continuing on our journey, 6 in column 4 has exactly 2 cells, cannot be here, cannot be here, and cannot be here. And now let's look 6 in column 7, again just the 2 cells. So if you look at these red cells, they don't form a pattern. Normally for a swordfish, you must have made 6 somewhere here, but you already have a 2 here. So this would have been a swordfish pattern. And what is a swordfish for solvers new? You identify a digit which is going exactly into 3 rows. So if you notice this case, rows 2, 5, and 8 are the rows, and it should also go into the exact same 3 columns. Columns, you'll notice that it is 2 here, 4 here, and 7 columns. So 3 rows. The digit must exactly fit into 3 rows and 3 columns. But in this case, you are seeing that the digit is fitting into 4 rows, right? But 3 columns. So this cannot be called a swordfish, but it is actually a finned swordfish. So what it does is that, so in a normal swordfish, you could have eliminated 6 from all these cells, right? That's what a normal swordfish does. So all these yellow cells could have been eliminated as not being a 6. The reason is, imagine for a second you have a 6 as a possibility here, the only possibility in column 7. Although we have a 2 in row 8, column 7, imagine that there is a 6 in this cell as a possibility, not as a given. So what happens is that, if you have a 6 here, and that forces the 6 in column 4 here and forcing the 6 in column 7 here. And similarly, if you have the 6 here in row 8, column 2, the 6 in column 7 is forced here, and 6 in column 4 is forced here. So either way, you will notice that for rows 2, 5, and 8, one of these cells will take a 6, one of these cells will take a 6, and one of these cells will take a 6. There is no way that you can force a pattern without either of these cells taking a 6, because you have 3 6s and you have exactly 3 rows and 3 columns. So which means all these yellow cells cannot be a 6. This is what a normal swordfish pattern is, isn't it? So now let's remove the colors but we don't have a normal swordfish here. We have a 6 as a pattern here. In this case too, you can make some elimination, but the restriction is only to the cells which share the same unit as this fin. That's what the wiki page says. So this is a finned swordfish. Now look at these blue cells. They can't take a 6. Let's see what happens if one of these blue cells take a 6. Okay, obviously this cell is eliminated because of the 6, but just for explanation, you can eliminate both these cells as not being a 6. So what happens? Let's remove the colors now. This becomes, this cannot be a 6. So this cannot be a 6. Now that's not a good way to explain. So let's make it yellow. So if you have 6 in these two cells, this is not a 6, right? So this will also not be a 6. Now the 6 in these two columns, column 2 and 7, will be forced into these cells. The red cells, the only red cells available in those columns. And now if you look at column 4, both the red cells are being seen by these red cells. And there is no way you can place a 6 in column 4. So this is what happens when you place a 6 in one of these two cells. Both of these are removed as 6s, making them yellows, and 6 gets forced in these reds. The only available reds in those columns, and column 4 is standard of 6. So this is a finned swordfish. I think I'm certain in the terminology, and that eliminates the 6 here. So this is the wonderful break into the Sudoku that took me quite a while to find, because I was busy making center candidates and looking for patterns. I thought let's have a global look, and I found this after about 10 to 15 minutes of my solve, this brilliant break into the Sudoku. So you can't have 6 in row 8 column 9. That forces a 6 here, forcing a 6 here. This is not a 6. Let's remove the color. And 6 you have in row 7 and row 9. That forces 6 in these cells. So I think it's time to remove these colors. Let's just remove them. They're not needed now. And 6 in row 5 goes into this domino. Okay, so because we placed a 6 in this cell, now look at the 4. 4 cannot be here, and because of this given 6, 4 is getting restricted here. Because of this placed 6, I should have said placed, I said given. So 4 goes in these two cells in column 7. And let's look at this cell now. It cannot be 1, 3, 2, 6 and 7, and 4 and 5. So just the two possibilities. So it would be 8 or a 9. And let's continue now. Okay, 2 can't be here. 2 can't be here. So 2 is going into these two cells, and that removes the 2 from this cell, giving us a 2 here, forcing a 2 here, and that gives a 2 into these two cells in column 4, sorry. Okay, so like a really narrow solve path, you can say. Now look where the 6 goes in this row. 6 is restricted. 6 can't be in these two cells, cannot be here. So 6 goes here, bringing a 6 here. And mind you, the Sudoku is still not easy. There are some difficult steps even after this, so stay tuned. The break-in doesn't necessarily make the Sudoku very easy to complete. Okay, 6 in row 2 goes in these two cells. Okay, now if you look carefully, 3, 8 is not in column 1, 3, 8 is not in row 9. Because of the 6 we placed here, we are able to form a 3, 8 pair. So a really nice way to build a Sudoku, you can say. The authors have nicely made use of the givens placed previously by the other author. So 2 is not here, so this is a 2, and that forces a 2 in here. I think we have got all the 2s, right? No, the final 2 goes in this domino. Very well, and this box is dead duck, so let's just put those givens in here. 1 9. Okay, so after this, let's see, I use some complicated logic. So row 7, you have a 3 8 pair. 7 is not here. Well, we are not using the complicated logic right away, but it will be used. 3 8, so this is not 8. 7 9. And if you look at box 1, where does the 7 go? 7 is not in column 3, 7 is not in row 1, so 7 is in this domino, and that removes all these 7s. Sorry, all these 7s. So this is not a 7. 1 9, and 7 in row 3 goes here. This will be a 7 or a 9, because you must have 4 7 9 there, but there is a 4 looking at that cell, so that's a 7 9. So at this point, I use several complicated steps, and then I use some step which kind of made the Sudoku easier. So I'm not sure if the complicated steps that I used in my solve earlier were really needed. So I'm going to right away go to the step which I used. These pencil marks really made me interested. I'm going to make them pink. Why is this red still here? Let me remove that. So you'll notice that all these digits have some combination of 3 candidates, right? 4, 5, and 7. Sorry, some combination of four candidates. 4, 5, 7, and 9. So I was really interested, and they also have bi-value candidates. So I was looking for some way to combine them, get some elimination maybe. And I happened to get, I saw that no matter what this cell takes, row 9, column 9. Sorry, row 7, column 9. Your row 3, column 3 will always be a 9. Let's see how. And let me see if I have to do something before that. Okay, let's do some more steps because this seems to be advanced. I can't use this step yet, but let me keep that highlighted. May help. There's so many things here, I'm not sure which one to use. Okay, let's go slow. 2, 3, 4, 6, 8. So we need 1, 5, 7, and 9. You can't have 1 and 9 here, so that's a 5 and a 7. And this will be 5, 7, and a 9. Right? Okay. This is one of the tricky steps I noted. I saw that both of these cells were the same, so I was looking for a way to combine them or for something which gave me contradiction. So you'll notice that row 2, column 1 cannot take a 9, because if that becomes 9, both of these are 1s, and there is no space for 1 in box 2, depending on how you look at it. Look at this. 1 here forces a 1 into this cell. All these can be seen visually too. And now if you look at column 2, column 5, there is no space for the 1. Or if you look at box 2, there is no space for the 1. 1 cannot be here, 1 cannot be here, and 1 cannot be here. So which means anything which forces both of these cells to be a 1 cannot be a 9. Right? Cannot be possible. So this cell cannot be a 9 because both of these are forced as 1 and box 2 doesn't have 1. So this is not a 9. Giving us a 5, 7 pair in that yellow cell. But remember, there is one more cell which looks at both of these cells, and that is row 8, column 9. And if this is a 9, the same thing happens. Both of these become 1s. This will be a 1, 1 gets forced here, and 1 gets again forced here, leading to a clash. So clearly row 8 column 9 also cannot be a 1, so it is a 9. It is a row 8 column 9 cannot be a 9, so it is a 8, because a 9 here forces both of these to be 1. And I got one more digit. That means this will be 1, 7 and 9. So we are getting close to using the ping cells, but let me see, can we use it now? That was a 9, but this is 7, 9, 5, 7, 4, 9. That's a 7. Then 9 could still be here. Forces to be a 9. Yes. Now is the time to use it. I used 2-3 steps, some chains and interesting sharp reductions on the way, but those are all not really needed, as I understand now. Look at this cell, guys. This is the chain that you need to be particular about. So if you have a 9 here, let's go slowly. If this is 9, this is a 5, this is a 7, this is a 4, and this is a 9, right? Now the next alternative is really easy to see. If this is not a 9, your 9 is forced in this box here. And where does the 9 go in row 3 now? Again here, right? So both ways, whether this is 9 or this is not a 9, if this is not a 9, 9 is here, and 9 is automatically forced in row 3 into this cell. But if this is a 9, the chain here forces the 9 still here, right? An excellent step. So if any of Tyrgannus or Jovial happens to watch this video, please do let me know. I don't think this is the intended step. I don't see, there should surely be some other elegant way. So not that this is not elegant, but this is also a really good way to see things. If there is some other intended step at this point that I missed, please let me know in comments. I'll be happy to see. So I used this in my solve, and it was a nice step, I thought. So this, whatever it takes, 9 is forced here. So that has to be a 9. That forces 7, 4, and this is a 1 because of the 9. Now that's a 9. And look at column 1, just one digit left. So 1 goes here. You can't have 1 here and here. And in row 5, where does the 1 go? So 1 goes here. Now this is not a 1. And now you have a 7-9 pair giving a 1 here. And in box 2, you can place the 1 now. 1 can't be here, 1 cannot be here, 1 goes here. And the final 1 can be placed in the grid, all by just simply scanning things. And now let's see. There's something easy that we can do here. 9 in box 3. Just one cell left. 9 goes here, which puts the 3 here. Now let's see 9's. 9 is forced here. That forces a 7 here, 5 here, 7 here. Finish off column 7. This is a 5. And box 9 can be completed. This becomes 5, this becomes 4. Let's see what to do now. 3 is not in column 1, 3 is not in row 1. That gives a 3 here, which pushes the 7 here, giving a 5 here. And 5 is now forced in column 3 into this cell. That's a 4. And you can finish off row 1. And this area can be completed now. So 9 in row 9 is forced here because of that 9. That's a 7. and 3 4 in this row gets easily forced. And this can be placed because of this 3 3 and 8, and you can finish off column 3 now. 4 and 8 are the remaining cells, and that is easily resolved. So that's 8, that's 4, and this 8 sets this 8 up, giving an 8 here, and that will be a 2 now because 2 was in these two cells, and this will be a 3 that finishes up this column. And in row 4, 3 is posted here. And now if you look at row 6, just 3 cells left, 2 7 and 9. Sorry, if we look at row 6, I said, right? So 4 and 9. So that will be this way, and because of this 4, that's a 9, that's a 4. And let's finish up this box. 7 and 2. Let me see. Okay, it's going to get over soon. Row 4 can be completed. That's a 7. And this area can be completed. We need 5 6 and 9. 6 and 9 are here, so that's a 5. And that 9 gives a 9 here, a 6 here, and this can be completed now. That's a 6, that's a 5, and that's a 4. What a Sudoku by Tyrgannus and Jovi, all one of a kind classic Sudoku, amazing creation. And that too, to know that they alternated givens, that is really interesting to know. That gave rise to an excellent solve path. The break-in involved finding the sixes, realizing that there is a finned swordfish in row 2 5 8 and column 2 5 and 8, 2 5 and 7, I think, right? That gave rise to a lot of interesting things. And the final thing which clinched the Sudoku was noticing that this cell cannot be a 9, and seeing this chain, right? And before that, noticing that these two cells cannot be 9s really helped, and then seeing these two chains was the final blow to the Sudoku. An excellent one. I really enjoyed solving the Sudoku, and I wanted to make a video. Hope you too enjoyed and learned a thing or two on how to crack classic Sudokus, which are extremely tough. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to the channel and become a patron of the channel. Thanks for watching. We'll see you soon. Bye bye.